So, out of this video, I just basically want you guys to be able to spot channels better. So, I would show you guys more on the harmonics, but at the moment, there really isn't much to actually be shown. But I'll get more into that one too if there is an extra pattern. But yeah, we're going to start with like the Euro, Japanese yen. Let me just get a trend line chart. Basically, from what I've said before, or you've seen it in the past, you want to get it to where the lines are touching the most. So you kind of see where it was like a channel situation right in here in the past. Whoops, I'll let go of that one too soon. But this one isn't a channel. This one actually is a falling wedge. So I'll go ahead and then just kind of of course we wanted some light color so we can see it. Okay, yeah, that right there is a falling wedge. So came in a downtrend and then it peaked down here. So what you could have done is tried to highlight the important areas. So about right here, if you went into a smaller chart, or another significant zone could have been about here to down here. So it could have been basically all of those areas, significant zones. But basically you could have entered it in here and just did it long, and then it would have basically trended up, and then we have that head and shoulders pattern right there. So it was all good from there. Also we have this W right here, signaling that it's going up. You basically check from the larger time frame down, you would have seen it. So lately, yes, I do use these lines to actually mark my support and resistance zones, but lately I've been actually highlighting it more, trying to see the extra stuff with the boxes. So I kind of like highlight the boxes to kind of just show me more of where the important zones are without like super cluttering my charts. Well, even though sometimes I do it anyways, but it works out though. But also, if we go to a smaller chart, could have seen where I actually marked another triangle pattern. Actually, let me move that one out the way. This one was more going towards the downtrend, kind of like another falling wedge. And then it bounced off. Notice how a lot of the cases it'll bounce off one of these lines here. So the light blue one tends to be the weakest. The white one tends to be stronger. The dark blue one tends to be the strongest. So it bounced off the line and then went up. So that's double confirmation right there. Not to mention W down here, uptrend. It consolidated. There was a hard resistance, support zone that it could not break at all. And you see that there was a line there on that chart too. So signals that it's going up. And basically for Euro Japanese yen, I've been basically waiting for it to come to about this area. So target still, I believe the target is still going on. I mean, it broke past one of my EMAs right here, the 800 line, but that's okay. So we're gonna go, I anticipate it for now going here, but it could also go right here. It could go for a while, but let's see if we could find an actual channel somewhere other than wedges. I've seen more wedges than anything. Let's see, and that came out to be a good flag pattern. I mean, you see the tail right here, and then it just basically stalled for consolidation over in this area, and then on the top it created like a new support, and then it rose more. So at this point, I would say I anticipate it probably dropping down a little bit more, maybe, considering it's making that its new support, and then just rise more, especially with it being the weekend now. So with it being the weekend now, it's going to come Sunday, it's going to consolidate. It could break down for it's for a gap, and then it would rise up as a basically fake the continuous trend. And then I would say, well, it could happen right here, but if it doesn't, it's going to happen here. I'm just waiting for more movement to happen at this point. I want to see the next move after this. I mean, NFP just happened, so, but if it does happen here, it's more money right there. And then that would be a good trend line right there for the bounce off of right here if it came to it. And then at this point, we see like an inverted head and shoulders type deal. But if we go to the larger time frame, what we see, there was a channel. So basically, it came down, well, and it broke it a few times. I ended up having to move it. Right now, at first, I thought it was going to be something more like this, but then eventually, I just kind of left it here. But because mainly, like I said, for a channel, you want to kind of focus more on all the touches. I thought it looked like it was going to gain support over here, but it was just a fake. If you looked on a smaller time frame, you'd be able to see it better. But eventually it like reversed and created like a giant W type structure right in here, showing you the move. So the inverted hammer kind of gave that away. But as far as where it's going as a whole, this was a triangle breakout right here. Oops. But as far as what it can do, I would say more of something like this at the moment. I honestly don't believe for a second that it's done. I would like to believe it would try to come somewhere around there. I'm just going to go follow structure. This is the strongest point in structure. Oops. So I'll highlight that. And then as my secondary, I would put that area. Well, the first take profit, I would say about this area for a daily chart. But if it were to keep going as a whole, which I really can't say it's for sure that it's going to go, but it could go land all the way up here. I can't say for sure yet, because what could happen is it could bounce right there to make more of an M-type structure. I gotta see more movement in the future and then do that. It's not gonna be too perfect like that, but I'm just letting you guys know what's the deal. But now you see more of where I'm coming from. And then if we were to look at it more from a smaller perspective, we would see that indeed right there is a channel, upward channel on 4 hour. And then these lines actually help you see that more, because remember, the EMAs are like moving support resistance. They're to help you spot the trend. So remember, but yeah, as far as understanding these lines a lot better, all you got to do is just watch those bonus training videos I sent you within your email. Trust me, they'll help you a lot. But basically, overall, the crosses they tend to signal a change in trend, and then at the same time, you kind of see how it's just bouncing off. Even just one of these lines, it just signals that it's a continuation a lot of the times, unless you see like a major pattern. So yes, sometimes it can break if you see that major pattern, but yeah, just make sure you make more than just one or two confirmations. Just make as many confirmations as possible. Like from this end, yes, I see the channel, but at the same time, I tend to look at either gold or Euro USD to kind of just get the overall picture of what the hell is going on. That's because that's all we're really asking ourselves at this point. What is going on here? So, and sometimes you can even tweak it. Sometimes you'll have to tweak it a little bit from the smaller time frames. But, well, it doesn't matter. We're going to go to Euro USD real quick. So, basically, here's what I gathered out of Euro USD. At the start of the week, I had a sell about here, but I took in the fact that NFP was going to be, NFP is going to be on Friday at this point. So a lot of times with NFP coming, there's going to be a reversal. And what did it do? It reversed right here, made rat tail. So I ended up closing this trade. And if you notice, I believe it was on the 15. It was on one of these charts. I noticed that it was off. Yeah, there was a good signal right there that it was just reversing. But it was bouncing right off the line. Well, not right off, but came off a trend line. It dipped in for a fake stop hunt, and then came right up. Then another trend line showed up, because I believe that was the NFP spike, and then it sold again. But from what I'm looking at, and then with that also being a Friday, and then that short little stall that for what it looks like right there, I believe it could continue back up to create like another miniature dip. Let's see. Yeah, that could be count more. But yeah, I believe that one's gonna go back up, and then I would say I would trust the trend line at this point. If not here, it'll be a little bit lower at about this point, since it already touched that zone. And since it's going to be the second leg, it could be lower than the first. So we'll see what happens. We're just waiting for that candlestick signal. But right now, everything serves as a short-term buy, and then drop. But overall, I say when it goes down, it's going deep down. So it may make like a head and shoulders type structure, and then just continue down about, I would say probably the trend line about. It could potentially break, but we'll see what happens. This is one of those points where I would actually just like I would create multiple lots, and then I would just close one as it gets probably right here, and then right here, just for the fact that there was this gap over here and it couldn't break before. But there is potential that it could close that gap at that point. We just have to wait to see what happens, and then we'll see if it goes either here and then goes up and bounces down, or is it going to instead make a W and then rise from here and break and go up. So there is a chance that it could actually do that too. Makes somewhat of a channel type structure right around here. Well, kind of like one of those fake out deals. So we'll see what happens at this point. And then AUD JPY was another one that I was actually in for a little bit. So at this point, you see where it was a giant descending triangle. I believe at the beginning over here, there was also a bullish Gartley. And not to mention, you see where that blue EMA is right there. There was multiple confirmations right at that point. I don't know why that's going down. Why is that there? Wait, I had to look at it somewhere. But yeah, there was that. And then there was another way that I confirmed it with. And I believe I confirmed it with Fibonacci at the time. Basically, from this point, I'm going to go from the 4-hour perspective. And I'm going to go to from there. And with there being a bearish butterfly, that says that it's going for a bit of a drop. So I would say from there being an important zone right there, which let me make sure, I want to look at the important zones first as well to confirm it. 618, rejection, rejection. It broke through at some point, but rejection. But it could bounce around here. 618, and then play around for a bit, or make a continuation pattern up and just go along. Unless it decides it wants to do something else and then make an M type structure, which it can do. But with all the other yen pairs, I can't say this one's in line with everything else, but it has been pretty consistent about everything. So I'm just going to make it two-way. It can go down or it can go up at this point. And we just have to wait for the right opportunity. No, actually it looks like yeah, pretty, I would say about pretty similar to about USD, JPY, and everything else if it does continue up again. To the point where it can make that giant M and then just tank. And then just follow that pattern right there if it wanted to. We just have to wait to see what the future holds for us. And then, yeah, with USD JPY, go higher and then go to an extreme low. But we just don't know how low yet. But you have the idea. And then with every trend, there's always a serious correction. So I'm going to say it's going to do something about that. Then I won't say it'd be that perfect, but we'll see what happens in the future. But I'm also going to just kind of go over things on TradingView as well. I want you guys to be able to see these things. So I thought about it. I feel like it would be better instead of me marking it all, because, well, I've marked quite a bit already. I want you guys to just go over, I'll say 4 different charts this week, and then just mark them. Just mark them just like as you've seen Euro USD. I want you to try to do Euro USD like the way that I've done it so far yourself. Like, see where I found the giant flag type deal. Well, channel. And then basically, I just want you to just see it all. I want you to be able to draw your channels. I want you to be able to draw your flags. pennants, your wedges. I want you to be able to see the M's and W's, heads and shoulders. I want you to see it all. I want you to be basically just mark it all. You can highlight everything just like I'm doing if you want to. Find the major support or new support resistance zones that are created. That's kind of how I find my take profit points. I just look at the reaction of the market basically. So as you see here with Euro USD, I have it for a channel. Yes, it could potentially do that, but this is a strong zone, a very strong zone as you can tell. And we just went through NFP, and normally NFP would actually push it more, but it rejected it. And on a smaller time frame, like I said, I was looking for an M, which is why I have that arrow right here for the downside. So I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like a perfect drop like that, no, because this is Forex. But that's basically where I wanted to go for now, and then come back where it's path on the upside and do what it needs to do. But you would notice right there, you had that as a W at first, it turned into an M again. Probably a smaller W right there. And then I believe that one would probably be a head and shoulders just for a long wick. And then a W and a smaller M. I mean, you just have to see it, understand the structure. That's basically what I'm trying to have you guys do at this point. See the structure, see the channels, pennants, flags, look at every bit of it. And I want you to be able to mark it. When you make your marks, it would be good for you to actually put in the text. Whoops. Yeah, sometimes I just mark it as where it's going to reset. I was doing that before, but I haven't really marked it in a long time like that. So I memorize everything. But for you guys, it's smart to actually leave those type of notes for yourself. I will probably also use the text to kind of just mark your analysis for the week of what it's doing. There's nothing wrong with that, but especially as a beginner, it would help you more to actually do those type of things. As for the arrows and everything I use, I'm going over it again. They're all right here. I just use the trend lines to create my channels. That's all I literally do. Like, in all honesty, you could even say this would have been a channel at one point. With all the touches. If I were to be honest. For this, you can just use those lines too instead of highlighting everything. But yeah, that's more of also what I mean by yeah, channels. There are cases where there can be a channel within a channel. So now you see it. It could come down a little bit lower here, or it can actually boom. But yeah, just do your homework. Do your homework, mark up your charts right now. You can start with the Euro USD like I'm doing. you can use, like, I'll give you another example. USD JPY. Why are you being slow? Okay, I guess this is odd. Okay. I'm gonna go for the 1 day. It normally doesn't do that. It's normally cleaner. Well, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but it's never acted this funny. But um, I just wanted to show you guys how it was basically a channel within a channel. Give you just give you other ideas as to what USD JPY was doing. I respect that pretty well, but yeah, just go ahead and just do your best with marking your charts, and then I would just highly suggest just posting it in the comments of this video. I'll more than likely put it in the website too, but I'm posting in the group, that way everybody sees it. I'll tag everybody in it as well, and yeah, just good luck, guys. Happy trading. And also, why I recommend doing this, it's just going to help you more. You need to train your eyes. You really need to train your eyes to see everything in the markets. Train your mind to know the patterns, whether it's candlesticks, harmonics, triangle patterns, flag patterns, head and shoulders, M's, everything. You need to know this stuff. Just know that when you see it, it's a reversal. If it's on a smaller time frame, it's just for that smaller time frame. Overall, if it's like for a bigger time frame, that's the overall trend for that moment. So, like, if you see it, oh wait, yeah, why did I do that? But yeah, if you see it on like the monthly time frame, for example, it's going to take some time for that to happen. If you see it on like the 5 minute, the reversal will happen a lot sooner versus the the monthly. It's going to have like multiple reversals at that point. A lot of the times you'll notice that there's going to be 3 pushes. Sometimes there can be four pushes in the market, but there tends to be a lot of, they tend to come in threes for the huge pushes to the next move. But yeah, go mark your charts, guys. Do your homework. This is for you. I know this stuff. You guys gotta understand this stuff as well.